Welcome to NewsClick. According to the National Hydro Power Policy, at least 1/3 of the hydropower development is going to take place in Arunachal Pradesh. In the midst of this, many indigenous communities in Arunachal Pradesh are also feeling the fear of how this is going to impact on them in terms of their livelihood, their traditional lifestyle, their culture, and overall conditions of the people living there for centuries. We are really fortunate to have Lama Lobsang from that monastery, and recently Tawang hit the news because on May 2nd there was a flare-up in which Lama Lobsang was arrested, and then there was many people wanted his release, and as a result there was a firing where at least 2 monks were killed in the police firing. And we would like to know from Lama Lobsang what exactly happened on that particular day.
We had some clashes between politicians and our federation on small hydroelectric project, which is known as Mokto Shakangshu, which was built at the cost of more than 90 crores. But as soon as it was built, within 3 months it collapsed. So we were against the reconstruction of that project also. And I was arrested on 25th and I got bail. So they could not digest that one. So they again framed up me and they put behind the jail. And on 28th, I was also threatened by Lobsang Gyatso, Jila Parishad member. He threatened me to kill in front of, in public meeting, and we lodged the FIR, but he was not arrested, whereas I was arrested and put behind the bar. And he was shown just arrested on 29, but he was granted bail at the same time. And my bail was rejected. And on 2nd also my bail was rejected. So that's why people feared that I will be killed by hooks and crooks, maybe in fake encounter or all these things. So they tried to get me out of the jail. In that process, police, without following any standard operation procedure, they didn't use tear gas, they didn't use fire cannon, and they didn't use even the rubber bullet, and they directly lathi charge, and along with lathi charge they just fired. And also they fired at the head, on my friends on the head, and other also on the upper body, and 2 were killed, in which 1 was monk and 1 was lay people, and another, so many are seriously injured, and 1 is half dead almost because he is paralyzed because the bullet in his head could not be removed off, and another one, I think his leg will be amputated soon.
But could you please explain again how are these dams, the mega as well as the medium-sized dams, going to really affect the people in your region, in the Mon region of Arunachal Pradesh?
In our Mon region, we have 2 major rivers. That is, one is Tawangchu at the east and Nyamjangchu at the west. And both of these rivers and their tributaries, they want to build 13 mega hydropower projects. But people, all the villages are inhabited on the river bank of these 2 rivers. And they got a very, very marginalized farming land left on the river bank, because the most of the upper part were taken by military for military establishment, and middle portion was taken by the district administration for the setup of urban development and the district administration. Now people are left with only the marginalized farming land, and all mega hydropower projects are proposed on this marginalized sector. So people are surviving on this farming land only, and if this farming land are taken from them, then the people could not survive there. And each project, even on the proposed project, is not very small. One is 600 megawatt and one is 800 megawatt. That will be executed by NHPC, National Hydropower Corporation Limited. against which we successfully managed to get Gram Sabha resolution to reject all this project by more than 24 villages. And on Nyamjangchu also we succeeded that. So not only that, and our population itself is the Mon civilization in our district is only merely not more than 40,000 ethnic tribal Monpa community. So there is a danger of getting this civilization wiped out. And not only that, both of these two rivers, on the there are so many Buddhist pilgrimage sites which will be destroyed forever. And not only that, it is really very means geographically fragile, because Tawang could not sustain just 4 days of heavy rainfall, like a cloudburst that happened in April. April. Then how could they, means our fragile geological fact, means ecology, can sustain such a mega hydropower project?
I'm also hearing that there is a gradual build-up that is going on. This incident is perhaps the tip of the iceberg of a tension that has been going on in this region for a very long time, that your movement has been bringing forward. And recently, the National Green Tribunal have perhaps cancelled one of the EIAs that the government have actually conducted in what, can you explain a little bit about that Green Tribunal's movement, which really angered the politicians in your region?
Actually, 13 mega hydropower project is being proposed in our district itself, in where already mini and micro hydels, more than 28 of them are already constructed and they are malfunctioned. And our main demand is to make them functionable. All total 28 is already constructed and 4 in the process of making. So we want them to be made functionable. Again, about 13 mega hydropower project, I think our area itself is a very ecologically very fragile and seismic zone, and we had a very limited farming lands left with us, because most of the land were taken by Indian Army for the national security that we already given them. But now people are left with very marginal farming land, which will be taken by mega hydropower project. Then the people's livelihood itself will be in a grave danger. Not only that, and so that's why we challenge National Green Tribunal the proposed 780 megawatt of mega hydropower project, which is known as Nyamjangchu, which has violated Wildlife Protection Act. Not only that, Forest Conservation Act also. Barrage site, at proposed barrage site, is the winter nesting ground of black-necked crane, which is considered as an embodiment of 6th Dalai Lama, and in by our Monpa community. And not only that, black-necked crane is considered as a Schedule 1 most endangered species in scheduled Wildlife Protection Act. So for last 4 years we had a very tough battle in National Green Tribunal, and at last the National Green Tribunal gave a verdict that in that verdict environment clearance of Nyamjangchu project, which was subsidiary of Bilwara company, was suspended. That's why, and that was also suspended in April 7. So all the arrests and all these things were the aftermath of this landmark judgment.
So what do you think is the alternative for the growth of the Monpa people, as well as Arunachal, as well as the larger Indian need for energy? How do you think can this be addressed?
They have already constructed mini and micro hydel, which has the capacity to produce more than 20 megawatts or 30 megawatts of electricity, but they could not provide even 2 megawatt of electricity until now, whereas the requirement of our districts is only 6 megawatt at the peak hour, and the peak season, that is the winter, in which the heating system will be used. And not only that, about exporting or meeting the national energy, we propose that please, for the time being, we should build one mega hydropower project which is under 100 megawatt, that is maybe 96 or something, on trial basis, at a very isolated area where there is no villages. But even that, that also on the experimental basis. But even then, they are not really willing to carry out.
How do you think this killing has impacted your movement? Many people are still languishing in the hospital, and even though the government have now got some positive reports and have given some compensation, the people who were involved in this killing, the police officers who were killing these peaceful protesters, have not been suspended, or criminal charges against them have not taken place. How do you think this has impacted the movement that you are leading? Are the people still very scared? Is there a fear of joining your movement for a sustainable development in Tawang, or is it giving more courage for people to fight back because you are becoming more effective and threatening the people who are trying to build this mega development projects? Could you please elaborate on that?
This is the worst example, and people are losing faith in Indian democracy at our region, just because the one who directly killed, and they were caught red-handed on videotaping also, video coverage, they were never ever put behind the bar. Whereas the one who is working for the people are put behind the bar with some framed up accusations. And not only that, now people, they are really very much encouraged, and they are, I fear that if any situation like 2nd May happen again, then there will be much more stronger protest, and this will really take into shape of a very unpredictable situation up there.
Final question is, you said it is not sustainable to have this mega dam. You are also saying that there has to be a middle way. But who are actually benefiting from these dams? Why are they pushing? If they are not favoring the people living there, can you please explain a little bit about the politics behind who are the ones who are propagating that these dams should be built?
Yeah, actually these dams are meant to be export electricity out of Tawang Mon region. Because in our Mon region, the requirement is only 6 megawatt, whereas state government is going to build more than 2,900 megawatts of hydroelectric. So it is very clear that only the companies and the government, they are getting benefit of all these things. And the real poor people's land comes into a very dangerous way of being forcefully taken.
So interesting, it's the corporate who are going to get the profit out of it, and the poor people who have been living in these areas for many years are paying the price for it. So it's a corporate and the upper echelons of the government, the politicians, perhaps a few bureaucrats, are going to make huge money out of this project.
In this context, even Minister of State Kiran Rijiju Saab, when he visited Tawang after the May 2 incident, he has clearly stated that state has taken so much advance money, not only along with the loan money, and all this money are misused, and there was a huge corruption involved. And if this project will be stopped, then company will go to court, and in this process, Government of India should government of Arunachal will be forced to sell out even the governor's house, even the prime minister, chief minister's house, and all these things. All these things, government property will come into danger. So that we also got video clips also.
पैसा अभी तो अरुणाचल गवर्नमेंट एक तरफ से फंस गया. जितना भी MOU साइन किया, सबसे 90,000 ना कितना 1000 पर मेगावाट स्टेट ने ले लिया, लेकर के वही रास्ता बनाना, ये करना, खर्चा तो कर दिया. हम तो कभी कभी बोलता भी था कि पूरा खर्चा नहीं किया, आधा तो करप्शन में चला गया. तो पैसा तो ले लिया ना, MOU हो गया मतलब पैसा तो ले लिया. अब रिटर्न करना है, वो तो केस में जाएगा. अभी जितना भी पैसा दे वो तो कोर्ट जाएगा. वो लोग बोलेगा कि अरुणाचल गवर्नमेंट इतना पैसा ले लिया, अभी वापस करो. PDS जैसे CM का घर, गवर्नर का घर, सबको गिरवी में रख करके चलना पड़ेगा. तो ये चीज़ जो है ना अच्छा नहीं हुआ. मैं तो इसको अपोज करता ही हूँ. जितना भी अरुणाचल में बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट का साइन हुआ है वो ठीक से स्टडी करके साइन नहीं हुआ, ये हम पहले से बोल रहे हैं.
My very best wishes, and I hope all the success to your struggle. Thank you very much for being with us.